with tips, strategies, and solutions to improve your mental fitness. This is Mental Fitness Matters. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. You are listening to Mental Fitness Matters. I am your host, Tracy Alston, and this is WSIC Radio. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone out there is having a great week. I am back this week with part 2 of a 3-part series that I'm calling the Achiever Brain Training Series. I'm super excited to talk to you about today's topic. I created this series really because I really think it's time to revolutionize the way that we train our mental fitness and the way that we treat our mental health. Okay, the brain training solution that I'm going to talk to you guys about today, Neurofeedback, has been used by top performers all over the country as a mental advantage. I mean, they've been using this technology and these solutions for a very long time. I'm currently using this technology in both of my companies, New Mentality and Mental Edge Fitness Solutions. And I want to share this with the world because I think it's important that people have access, that it becomes more convenient for us to really take care of our mental health and mental fitness. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about today's show. And if you're tuning in for the very first time, welcome. Please feel free to visit tracyalston.com. That's TracyAlston. Check out tracyalston.com. That way you can go back and check out any of the previous shows that you may have missed. You can also tune in to check out part 1 at tracyalston.com as well. Today, we're going to be talking about training your brain while watching a movie. Training your brain while watching a movie through a process called neurofeedback training. You heard that correctly. You're going to learn how to train your brain by simply watching a movie and gaining better brain health, okay? First, I want to do a quick recap of part 1. So I'm going to go through quickly what we talked about on part 1 so we can catch you guys up to speed. Part 1 was more about the brain, how it works, and its impact on performance. And what I talked about in part 1 was really, I needed you guys to understand that your brain is a muscle. Your brain is a muscle that can be trained and strengthened with the right type of tools. You can create new neural pathways, improving your brain function. Okay? Your brain also is responsible for everything that you do. Everything that you think, everything that you feel, and all of the actions and behaviors that we have. So I want you to make that connection. I continue to repeat that because what you're going to learn is that repetition and consistency is the way the brain learns best. The more information that we're fed over and over again, the more we can hear those things, it allows the brain to stick and learn that information faster, okay? So your brain is responsible for everything that you do. And we also have over 1 billion neurons or brain cells that communicate with one another. And when that communication happens, they create an electrical signal, and the frequency of that signal produces a brain wave. So last week we talked a little bit about brain waves. We have brain waves, and these brain waves or brain states are responsible for certain areas of alertness that we find ourselves in. Okay, so think about a brain wave or a brain state. It's just a state that you're in from a mental and a focused standpoint. I'm going to go back through what these brain states are. I'm going to do that very quickly here so that way we can kind of get into neurofeedback. But when you think about having brain activity, the importance of that is it provides us information about our overall brain functioning, our stress levels, our thoughts, and our emotions. So anytime that we are in an active state of alertness, for example, throughout your day, you're mostly in the beta brainwave state. That's a fast wave. That brainwave is responsible for focus, mental processing. So if you're giving a presentation, if you're taking a test, if you're performing a task, a lot of times you're in a beta state. That is a faster brainwave, okay? If we're in a more relaxed state, we're still awake, we're alert, but we're more relaxed. That's considered an alpha brainwave state. That state is also very powerful. Being able to kind of get into a calm, relaxed state, it's an idle state. So you can be ready to perform and go, or you can be also ready to power down, relax, and go to sleep. So think about alpha brainwave as responsibility for calm and relaxation. Another brainwave we talked about last week was theta. So now we're getting to more of the slower states. Think about theta as a slow wave that occurs normally when we're more drowsy, daydreaming, or relaxing. Okay, so it's a slower brainwave type. Delta is our slowest brainwave. That brainwave is responsible for being asleep. So this one occurs most often when we're asleep. All right. So a lot of times when we're doing neurofeedback, the training that I'm going to talk to you about today, we want to begin to understand, where are people's brain states? Where are they? Because it's important to know how your brain is functioning so that you can know how to make improvements. And with all of the brainwave states that we have, the goal is to be able to self-regulate, or to be able to have what's called homeostasis, or a balance. Think about that in anything that you do in your life. Having a balance is key. When we're going to talk about training, that's on the mental fitness side. Think about training on the physical fitness side. If you overtrain or overwork in muscles, you can get really, really sore. There's such thing as overtraining or overworking. There is also a such thing as underactivity. So we're going to look for things in balance. You can have overactivity, you can have underactivity, but the goal and the key here is to create regulation and balance, all right? So a healthy brain is able to enter and access these brainwave states effortlessly. So you should be able to get up to a beta state, pay attention and focus, but you should also be able to power down and relax when you need to, and you should also be able to fall asleep when you need to. You should be able to go throughout these states effortlessly. A healthy brain can do that. A lot of times stress and other issues may, may cause a problem with you entering and accessing these states. So with brainwave therapy, what we look at is, how is your brain performing? Are any of your brain states overactive? Are they moving too fast? Are any of your brain states underactive, meaning moving too slow? For example, if you've been drowsy, tired, we gave this example last week. If you're going to bed at night and you're getting 8 to 10 hours and you wake up and you still feel extremely exhausted or extremely tired or mentally fatigued or foggy brain, well, this could be a result of your delta brainwave pattern not functioning well. Okay, that could be a result of something moving too fast or too slow in your delta brainwave state. Same thing when you're trying to focus, pay attention, and be productive. If you find yourself with racing thoughts, trouble shutting your mind off, extremely emotionally reactive, impulsive, easily agitated, this could be an indicator that your beta states are overactive. So what we do from a training standpoint, we want to know, where are we? How is my brain performing? I know sometimes I'm really focused, I'm productive, I get up and get it done. Sometimes I can go to sleep with no problems. Other times I'm all over the place. What's going on in my brain that's causing these things to happen? So imagine being able to get feedback on where your brain is in real time. Understanding if my beta, theta, alpha, delta are moving too fast or too slow. Imagine being able to understand where your brain is in real time and getting feedback on that information and being able to make adjustments and changes so that you begin to perform better. You begin to be able to be more clear and more focused. You begin to be able to be more relaxed. You're more productive, and you're able to have better sleep quality. Well, guys, that's possible. And it's a process known as neurofeedback training that allows us to gain this information and see this information through an EEG device or brainwave technology that allows us to be able to read what your brain is doing in real time, show you that information, and give you feedback on how your brain's performing and allow you to make the necessary changes for you to feel and perform better. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into how you can train your brain simply by watching a movie or playing a game and getting feedback on your brain states and improving how you feel. So let's talk about neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is also known as, if you've heard about brain training or neuro-training, the name for it is called neurofeedback training. It's the direct training of brainwave activity. So those brain states that I just informed you guys about, it's the direct training of these brain waves. So, and it's going to help you make more or make less of these brain activities so that you can perform at your best. This is how it works. What we do is we have you in our office and we place sensors or readers on your scalp. And that might kind of sound like sci-fi or a sci-fi movie, but it's non-invasive. So that means we're not placing anything inside of your scalp. We're simply placing sensors on your scalp that's going to read the information that your brain is producing. So we're going to be able to take a look at when you're in a focus state, for example, if your beta was moving at an appropriate level, you're going to get feedback on that information. If you've ever worn like a heart rate monitor or any type of technology that tracks your steps or tracks your heart rate, that's the feedback from your biological states that are happening in real time. This is just going to be feedback from your brain. So we'll have those sensors on your scalp. You're going to be in front of a computer screen, and we're going to have a movie playing, for example. And if you are working on a goal towards better focus or better productivity, if you're someone that feels like I get easily distracted, I get off task easily, I want to improve my focus, let's say we're doing a focus protocol for you. We're going to have you in front of that computer screen, place those sensors on your scalp, and we're going to record and monitor your brain activity. What we're going to be looking for is for your beta to be firing at an optimal or appropriate level. So if you're focused on the screen, you're going to be able to see that movie play with no interruption. If you go off task, meaning you may start to think about some things that you have to do at work, some things that you didn't get done yesterday, things you got to do tomorrow. If you get distracted, your daydreaming brainwave, which is your theta wave, kind of gets a little more activated. Your movie screen is going to get instantly dimmer. So if you're distracted, the screen's going to become dim. If you're focused, the screen is going to get brighter. You're going to get instant feedback when your brain is in an optimal focus state. So think about that. If you're able to kind of see in real time when you're doing a task well, the way that it should be done, and you get a positive feedback or reward for that behavior, over time, what's going to begin to happen is your brain is going to learn how to access this state on its own. So you're going to get feedback and rewarded for your brain doing what it needs to do. The movie screen is going to get brighter. If you're playing a game with us, the character's going to start moving across the screen. You're going to get rewarded for your brain being focused. You get off task, you get distracted, you won't be rewarded for that behavior. Everything's going to stop. The movie's going to get darker. The character will stop moving. You'll get instant feedback that you're not in the right place. We call this the operant conditioning. Over time, your brain is going to learn how to get into the groove and do what it needs to do. That feedback, with that repetition, with that practice, with that consistency, the feedback makes these new pathways happen for you. And what you're going to notice is that from a symptom standpoint, you're going to feel like you're better able to focus. You may be in class or at work. You're going to notice that, wait, I'm able to stay on track. I'm able to stay engaged. I'm able to stay focused longer. With this type of training, repetition and consistency is key. And that's really true with any type of training that you do. Anything that you're starting, when your brain's having to learn a new skill, being able to feed it that information over and over and over again in a way that it can learn it is where the real magic happens. Think about that. When I said to you guys, your brain has the ability to adapt and learn and adjust. That's feedback. It allows you to make the right adjustments when you need that. Think about that as being similar to learning how to ride a bike. Neurofeedback is simply biofeedback from the brain, okay? It's simply biofeedback from the brain. Biofeedback is a natural biological activity, okay? Like your breathing and your heart rate, those are automatic processes. Think about it. You don't tell yourself to breathe. You don't tell your heart to beat. It just does it. It's automatic. Your brain operates in the same way. Our brain assimilates the data that it needs. And so when you're riding a bike, think about when you learned that skill. You didn't have a manual that said this is how you ride your bike. You got on the bike. Your brain and your body began to adjust and assimilate what needed to happen to find that balance. Over time, you may have fallen off. You got back on, you adjusted left and you adjusted right. But that brain-body connection, you were able to find stability and learn how to ride the bike. Over time, when you got back on the bike, your balance was there. It knew what to do. It recalibrated, it adjusted, it changed itself. No matter how long it's been, think about it, no matter how long it's been since you've ridden a bike. If you don't ride often, if you're an adult now, you haven't ridden since you were a kid. If you got back on that bike today, you would be able to get on the bike and know exactly what to do. You would know exactly what to do. You would pick up where you left off. That's the same thing with the brain. So you have to remember, the brain, for neurofeedback, it changes itself when given the appropriate adjustments. So when you're in front of that screen, we're going to have protocols set up. If we're working on beta training, training your focus to improve, we're going to have parameters that we set when you're outside of that threshold, when your brain is overactive, racing thoughts, trouble shutting that mind off. When it's underactive, you're not focused, not engaged, but also when you're in the zone. We're tracking when you're in the zone. And you're going to get feedback because the movie's going to play instant feedback that you're in that zone, but you're also going to get instant feedback when you're out of that zone. So think about that as your brain assimilating and adjusting to where it's supposed to be, okay? That type of training shows with the research, the ability to influence our brain waves is possible for everyone. This is not just somebody that if you're looking at problems with attention or focus, you might just want to optimize your performance. And what we've seen is that the research shows that constant repetition, the brain learns from feedback, and measurable changes occur in our brain with the right type of feedback and change. Okay. And this type of technology, guys, it's been around for some time. This is not new. Neurofeedback has been around since the 1950s. And there's so much research and data. I want to share with you a couple people that are out there using this. NASA, the Astronaut Training Center, is using neurofeedback in their training center to train. The pro golf circuits, top universities, the Formula One sports team, racing team, they're using neurofeedback training. Tony Robbins, if you guys have ever heard of him, he's a world-known speaker. The United States Olympic Training Center is using this for their U.S. Olympic athletes. We have the U.S. Special Forces and the Navy SEALs. So in the government, they're using neurofeedback to train our soldiers. We have the Army Centers for Enhanced Performance using neurofeedback training. The Italian soccer team, I love this story. The Italian soccer team in 2006, they won the World Cup, and they attributed neurofeedback, and they called it their mind room. They attributed the neurofeedback training to helping them win the World Cup in 2006. And I can go on and on and on about the research behind top performers using these tools and technologies in their clinics to improve and have that mental advantage. And I think it's time for us to bring these solutions more mainstream and accessible for everybody, because it's not only proven to help in sports and academics, but it's helping people on a clinical mental health avenue as well, helping people feel better just by training and understanding what your brain is doing in real time, getting that information, getting that feedback, and allowing your brain to make the necessary adjustments. All right. I want to tell you a couple of the benefits that we're seeing in children and teenagers. Neurofeedback is often used to improve attention and focus. A lot of times for kids, we're improving emotional health and behavior. We're also improving learning and development and academic performance. So if you have kids or teenagers that are in need of any of those things being improved, neurofeedback, they may be a solution for them to try out. For adults, a lot of times we see neurofeedback. It improves stress and anxiety. It improves your mood. It can help you with sleep, with trauma, with memory, overthinking. We've seen the research around traumatic brain injury and concussion. So your brain learning how to undo unhealthy patterns to create a pattern that's going to be more beneficial for your overall health and wellness. So no matter what you're looking for, whether you're looking to improve your school and academic performance, whether you're a business professional looking to advance in your career, whether you're just somebody bouncing back from a head injury or concussion, or if you're just everyday life, you're just wanting to feel better. You wanted to have more increased energy. You want to improve your focus and your memory. Neurofeedback may be an option for you. And I want to talk a little bit with the time that I have left about the types of training that you can get, whether that's in an office setting, but we also have something that's called a remote training solution or a mobile solution. So neurofeedback is normally done in an office setting or an office clinic by licensed and board certified professionals. That's really important. You want to make sure anything that you're getting done, especially when it comes to your brain, that you're seeking a professional to do these types of services. But you can go to an office setting and get the neurofeedback training done by a professional. Training lasts about 20 to 40 minutes, depending on what it is that you're wanting to improve. A lot of times we are looking at 2 to 3 times a week of that commitment. Because remember, I said repetition and consistency is key. Your brain is a muscle. So you need to give it time to train and relearn how to perform for yourself. So don't think about this as something that you're going to go in a day or two and do it and you're done. Think about this as training. It's mental fitness, just like physical fitness. It takes time for you to see the results that you're doing from a gym workout. It's going to take a little time for you to see the results that you're getting from a brain workout. But give yourself permission to set aside 2 to 3 times a week, come into our offices or nearby neurofeedback locations to get that training done. But you're normally looking at 2 to 3 times a week, and you're looking at between 20 and 40 sessions over time, depending on what you're looking to do. There's also a thing called a remote training solution. This is really convenient. So let's say people have busy schedules like we all do, wanting to be able to train on the go. This allows you to have access to a board certified therapist that monitors your protocol, sets up your training from where you are, and you can train from the comfort of your own home as much as you like, whenever you like, at your own convenience. This makes neurofeedback training convenient, affordable, and a solution that you can do from the comfort of your own home. So you'll be able to get instant feedback. You and your therapist can set up a training time and training schedule where your therapist could be on watching you live, go through your neurofeedback training session, or you can do it on your own time and they can come back and review where you were at a later time. What I'm offering with this series, because I would love for people to get a handle on what neurofeedback is, on my next show, show number 3, the third show, it's going to be about, is neurofeedback training right for me? Now that you're hearing more about what neurofeedback is, the benefits of that, you might want to know, is this something that's good for me? On my next show, I'm going to do a raffle giveaway that you can enter into this raffle and get 3 months of neurofeedback training with me. You'll get a remote training headset device that you'll get a chance to take home, and half of that 3-month period, you and I will do neurofeedback training together. I'm going to help you train your brain for optimal peak performance. So you're not going to want to miss the next show, because we want to show you the power of this technology. Somebody will get a chance to train their brain for peak performance out there. So remote neurofeedback training has been something that's come along. Over the last couple of years, the technology has really evolved to a place where we're able to get these devices into the hands of people in the comfort of their own home. So let's say you can't get into the clinic. Let's say you feel like, wait, this is a solution that I want to have access to, but I can't get into your office 2 to 3 times a week. My time doesn't allow, my schedule doesn't allow. So having a remote solution could be something that might be beneficial for you and your family, and allowing you access to the solutions that are changing people's lives. So I want to make sure that you guys have that opportunity there. Like I said, guys, neurofeedback, when we're talking about this opportunity, so that I can repeat, because remember, repetition is key. This is a non-invasive technology. So we're not putting anything inside of your brain. You're going to get instant feedback on what your brain is doing in real time. With that information, you're going to learn what you need. Your brain's going to learn what it needs to do to adjust so that you can feel better. So if you're looking to improve your focus, if you're looking to improve your sleep, if you're looking to improve your mood, how helpful would it be to have a tool that allows you to know when you've gone off track? Think about it. In our day-to-day lives, we know there's times where we have squirrel brain and we get distracted. We're not productive. We know that. But how do we get ourselves back in the driver's seat, right? How do we get ourselves back in the driver's seat? And that's the power of what this thing does. It's like, what do I need to do? You don't need to do anything. The only thing that you need to do when you're training with us is you come in, you sit down, you become present on the task at hand, and your brain adjusts and does the work. It's effortless on your part. You just have to be a participant coming into your session, and your brain shifts and adjusts and makes changes on what it needs to do. And it's going to allow you over time to feel like things are in better control and more balance for yourself. And that really is the goal. For all of our clients, we're wanting people to have a state of balance, because with the things going on in our country right now, there's so much imbalance. And think about that. With overwhelming stress, with so much demand from your day-to-day, people are feeling out of balance in so many areas of your life. And if you're running out of balance for too long, remember, anything overactive or underactive for too long of a period of time can become a problem. So if you can learn how to readjust, if you can get your brain in condition to create in a balanced state, stress can happen, life can happen, and then you're not overreacting or underreacting to it. You're in a better position to be in control of how you respond and how you show up. And that's what I want for people. I want people to have access to taking care of their mental health and mental fitness, and being able to really be in control of this muscle known as our brain, so that it doesn't overtake your life, okay? So next show, we're going to be talking about, is neurofeedback right for me? You're going to also be entered into a chance to win a 3-month Training with Tracy Neurofeedback Mobile Solution Program, where you can train the brain from the comfort of your own home, and I will be your neurofeedback therapist. So if this has been beneficial to you, make sure you guys share this with your family and loved ones. I am so excited about this series. I'm so excited about talking to you guys about brain health and brain fitness. I want my Mental Fitness Matters community to go out and shine bright like the stars that you are. Take care of your brain so that it can take care of you. And I can't wait to see you guys back here next week. I want you guys to have a good week. See you soon.